Hello. How's it going? Finally made it here. You would not believe the technical issues we've had today just trying to get this back up and running. Well, by back up and running, I mean like this is the first official time that we've been putting this on after the test last week. So expect to be seeing more of this moving forward. I'm probably aiming for Wednesdays from here on out, but it doesn't matter. We'll see if we can get this live whenever it suits you guys the most. So going to come on here each week. We're going to chat a bit about things are happening in the marketing world. We're going to chat about things, learn some Liquid for anyone who uses things like Braze, Shopify, get some Liquid out there because it's really hard to find good info on that. So we're going to go from the beginning for those people who like a bit of Liquid. Because of all the tech issues I've had today, though, we are running on 28% battery, so I don't know what we're going to squeeze through today, but hey, look, it's okay. If there's anything you want to know, let me know. Be sure to hit the like, subscribe if you're here as well, and feel free to chuck a message in the chat to let me know you're around. Because I've got a fancy bot set up there. I just need someone to chuck something in the chat so with it we can so I can make sure that works. There's no point in me just testing it, is there? So anyone who's joined tonight, thank you. I thought I might kick things off this week just because with something nice and straightforward. I'm going to try and find an article each week that we can sort of work through together. I'd really like to hear people's thoughts on things as well, and so I'm going to pull out articles that I've found during the week that I've chosen not to read, so that I can just get on here and, I mean, people call them reacts, but I really don't like the term react. It sounds like you're waiting for me to have some sort of reaction, but I'd just like to have some sort of decent discussion, or at least just a chat. We just have a chat. It's okay to have a chat. But anything, I don't know if anything cool's happened for you guys today, but this is probably the coolest thing that's going to happen to me today, so if you've joined me, welcome. All right, so if be sure again pop something in the chat if you're here. Now, so this is the article I discovered this week, and I thought you guys might want to join me for the ride because AI being a hot topic at the moment. I actually came out of Microsoft, so I've come off the back of a lot of AI and a lot of AI work. But I'm also in marketing. I do work in Martech. So as soon as I saw someone write an article that said building an AI-enabled marketing team, a guide for marketing execs, I just knew I had to be on that. And by knew I had to be on that was, I don't know what I'm in for, and chances are, I don't know how I'm going to feel about some of this either, because as much as I do like AI, and I use AI in my day-to-day, and I don't know if any of you guys do, just let me know if you are using AI. I use it more as like a sidekick. I don't think I'd be building a team out of it, but like I'm happy to jump into this article and I'm happy to jump in this article and actually have my mind changed, I guess, but we'll see how we go. Anyway, this article is from Jonathan Martinez. If you like his stuff, go to John for Growth. Check out his feed. He's got some really good articles on there. So whether I agree or disagree, I'd check out his work because there's some cool stuff in there as well. All right, so let's just start working through this together. And if you've got anything you want to say about it, let me know. So only 5 marketers are needed for startups generating $100 million in revenue. Yeah, I probably said that. I don't know about you guys, but I've always kind of worked on lean, nimble teams, so I've never felt the need to have like a giant group of people to do marketing. If you have good people, you have right people. Now that I've got your attention, it's time to explain why marketing teams will never look the same. Gone are the days of bloated teams of media buyers, email marketers, and designers all siloed off. Small AI-enabled teams are now the win. Yeah, I'd agree with that too. The other thing there, though, is it's all siloed off. I think half the problem in some of the companies we're in these days is that we silo everyone off rather than having these connected teams. I don't know, I think it was Google or one of those people started making squads. I'm quite a fan of the squad model. If you're a fan of the squad model or you're in one, just let me know in the chat. I'd really like to know about that. So at Postmates in 2019, we generated $300 million in revenue with a 30-person marketing team. So what's that, like 30 million per... No. Hashtag maths. That's 10 million per person. That's pretty good. That's a pretty good return if you're getting 10 million per person on your marketing team. I include 3 senior marketing execs, 8 media buyers, 5 lifecycle marketers, 2 copywriters, 2 designers, 2 data analysts, 2 social marketers, 2 brand marketers, 2 influencer marketers, 1 SEO marketer, and 1 data scientist. Now, I think the only thing we can take away from there is we just have way too many ridiculous titles. If we were scaling now, I'd be willing to bet that we had some time to output with less than 10 marketers. So they've got their head of growth, data and paid acquisition, director of lifecycle, SEO, complementary roles, and all the people working under that. And I think quite a few of you watching this might currently be in a situation like this. And apparently, according to this, we might be able to replace all that with AI. So I guess I've just said maybe your job's about to go. Example, structure, mature growth for a team of 20. So what does an AI-enabled marketing team look like? The modern marketing team will include lead, executive, creative, architect, and operator. So the lead, all right, here we go. Here's the breakdown. So what we're looking for, team. The lead, the marketing executive, the head of growth, and I've had some good ones of them. The executor, offshore marketer. Executor, isn't that like the person who like does your will? Like when someone goes, they have like an I know this is probably about like they're executing something. Oh, jeez, surely there's a better term than executor. Oh well, I guess it could be executor. I'm not sure. I'm not sure that's any better. It's the offshore marketer. We've got the creative, the brand and creative marketer. We've got the architect, the growth analyst or engineer, and we've got the operator, the growth operations specialist. So then that team would now look like a lead, who's your head of growth, your executor, who's doing your wills apparently. So that's pretty good. You've got your creative. I feel like there needs to be some sort of design in there, but I guess we'll get to that. We've got your operator. Where's your operator come in? I totally missed that. And your architect. And then you've got your AI layer, which is your copywriter, your designer, your analyst, and your strategist. Anyway, how's everybody feel about this? Let me know. How's your feeling so far? My feeling is like, yeah, this is a lean team, and I reckon this could work. Whether AI can cover all that stuff well, I don't know. AI-enabled growth is a team of 5. A few consideration points. As your AI workforce grows, so does the need for brand safeguards and prompt libraries. Not all marketing teams are created equal, but this should be the basis for 90% of people. 90% should be the basis for the 90%. I'm not accounting for events, partnership roles, as they can often sit within sales. If you need living proof, I'm currently implementing this structure in my startup. Junior marketers will take on new roles in new marketing team structure. Okay, let's dive into what modern marketing team will look like. All right, here's the nuts and bolts. How much we've got in here? Oh, geez, we've got a bit to go through. I'll get charging on some of that. So layer 1, your human foundation. 2 people. Marketing budgets are tightening. Performance expectations are rising and AI is evolving faster than org charts can keep up. The traditional 15-person team is no longer competitive. What matters is speed, adaptability, leverage. This shows how you can build that, the very core of every successful startup, blah, blah, blah. So there's your quarterback. First and most critical hire. They're the strategy, growth, roadmap, and MarTech design. But where's the AI? They should be the first hire in the marketing org. They'll evaluate new tools for the stack, AI. In addition to blah, 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 responsibilities. I don't know where the AI is in this. Offshore marketers will be these people just evaluating IoTs at this point. I mean, these feel more like not like your growth leads. They feel like people who should have some sort of machine learning or AI background, in my opinion. Offshore marketers will be the executive that runs all the daily optimizations of campaigns that are running, whether A/B testing, lifecycle campaigns, or creative testing on Meta. Gone are the days of 70k junior marketers to run the campaigns. Instead, have experienced offshore marketer based in Brazil or Philippines. Okay, this is where the offshore marketer comes from. So that was a bit grey to me before. They're talking about paying someone overseas. Look, I've had some phenomenal people work, overseas. There's nothing like having that person nearby to like be bouncing off all the time and actually having like really strong talent doing a similar role. So I know they're doing their 40Ks a year with 5+ years experience. And some of these people are phenomenal. No discredit to them, but I don't know. I would actually hire this person more locally personally, especially if you're doing this AI thing where you kind of need a lot of oversight to make that happen. But in my last startup, 3.5 million AR, it was myself, a lead of a marketing team, 2 offshore marketers, the executives. It worked like magic. They had years of the offshore marketers has years experience in IMAX, Warner Brothers before joining me. Yeah, okay, that makes total sense. He's found good people offshore to do those things. All right, I think that music's still kicking on. All right, layer 2, here we go. Here we go, guys. Your AI employee specialist. This is what we're looking for. You need an AI strategist. Oh, I like this people. I love how these are actually like people. We're falling into this domain of, I was going to say that whole AI girlfriend realm at the moment where everyone's starting to talk to their AI. It's like it's an actual person, but it's feeling a little too close to home. And then we've got an AI strategist. Generate a weekly media plan from last month's ad performance. Cool. AI copywriter. Write 10 subject lines based on last week's open rates. Okay, yep. But Anyway, generate image variants using top performing ad templates and flag underperforming campaigns in a Slack channel and fix a suggestion. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I don't know. I have not seen great design come out of AI. I've seen some great pictures come out. I've seen some interesting copy come out, but honestly, I just reckon you can still tell. I don't think we're at that point now where we should be taking this and implementing it as an entire person inside our organizations. That's kind of how I feel about that. I think we're just running a little bit ahead of where AI actually is at. I mean, it's really just a giant It's really just a giant algebra model, and we're kind of treating it like it's a person with a fully functioning creative brain, problem-solving abilities, the ability to fail and learn. I don't think we're there yet. Just quietly, I'm not convinced it's actually ever getting to that point, but yeah, I'm happy to be changed. And don't get me wrong, I like using AI. Please don't get me wrong. All right, so I've gone through these. I'm calling these AI employees, but they should be evaluated and trained just as any human employee is. No. The more time you spend enriching these AI employees with data and knowledge about your startup, the more valuable. No. It's not how this works. It's not how people work. See, the problem here is that they're kind of assuming that people are just data banks. And if you're essentially giving your employees more data and more knowledge, and that's what makes them great employees. But that's actually not it. It's way more than that. It's culture. It's human connection. It's like the whole network. It's their ability to fail and learn from that and problem solve and then repeat. You know, and I know AIs can like build on things they've done, but they just don't have that feeling of failure. Like, yeah, I don't think I'm cool with calling this employees, and I'm not cool about, you know, the more time you spend enriching these AI employees. I feel like that's just taking this way too far. Oh man, I've asked AI to summarize it. Well, that's embarrassing. It's not enough just to set an AI employee up in a few minutes and forget about it, like a real employee. Marketing teams should constantly be upskilling via new knowledge and better prompting. That can be thought of as management. No, it's thought of as just putting data into a giant lineage equation. By the way, training looks like giving your AI designer access to a database of top performing ads, tagging, creative theme and format, and prompting regularly based on real case. This sounds like it just is going to take a bucket load of work anyway. And I don't think marketing people can do half this stuff. This sounds like something you'd be getting your ML AI team to do, because now you're talking about putting data into the back end of your... I'm not completely convinced this is where this should be going. Anyway, the irreplaceable humans. A few human roles remain. So apparently if you're a creative, an operator, an architect, you're irreplaceable. But if you're a copywriter, a designer, an analyst, or a strategist, you're out. I mean, at least someone's finally clarified that, like which jobs are going. I'm personally not convinced that's correct. In some cases, I feel like a lot of marketing jobs, I can say this as someone in marketing, a lot of marketing jobs could be not replaced. They could be supported by AI. But to say that you don't need great copywriters when it's the presenting the language and the tones and I don't know. I just don't think AI can keep up with that sort of stuff. Creative, your ideas brain. AI is only as good as the individual prompting and the ideas in their mind. I feel like this article is going to frustrate me. Okay, this statement, right? AI is only as good as the individual prompting and the and the ideas in their mind. So AI is only as good as the creative's mind. They're basically straight out saying then AI cannot compare to a human mind in this situation, which just shows that you can't just replace someone with AI. But this basically null and voids the entire argument. This is why we still have creative visionaries that lead brand thinking with ideas that touch human emotion and overall feel of campaigns. Yeah, AI just cannot feel human emotion. Sorry to break it to people. Your workforce manager. Your operator will be the manager for all your AI employees, liaisons, contract. The role is growth ops. I see I've actually got an AI manager who's working between the It should evolve to managing the new AI employees. This involves interconnecting your AI employees with campaign data and your marketing knowledge base to continue. This is complicated. The architect will manage all your data, attribution, and overall connections between the infrastructure of your MarTech stack. This doesn't need to be a full-time role. Good. For example, if your startup is using CRM or they're an email service provider, this role can wait. Add this role when managing 5 integrated tools. So the architect, that's this person up here. So they'll look after that. The operator, yep, cool. Oh, so I don't think this is AI looking after AI. This is, they'll manage all your AI employees. Couldn't hate the term AI employee anymore than I do right now, to be honest. Anyway, the marketing dream team. We're living in such exciting times where marketing orgs will be leaner, but at the same time, even smarter and more efficient than before. For early stage, $0 to $10 million revenue. I imagine that's probably a lot of people that are watching this at the moment. I was going to say post your revenue goals in chat, but I don't think that's really where you want to put that. But you can tell me if you like. So 1 director of growth, 1 offshore marketer, AI employees, copy design analysts. So this actually makes more sense to me. Instead of getting rid of like a decent marketing team in a larger company, I feel like this could replace some of the, I like to call it dumb work, the work that's kind of done day to day, but it's not going to replace these people who are like great thinkers, great marketing thinkers, or great with MarTech and need to implement these things. But I actually think this could be a good sort of small team to support alongside those teams, not replace those teams. This is where where I personally feel AI is most efficient, and actually where I think it'll be in the future. Like I actually think it's the support that goes next to people and helps them do their jobs better and more efficiently, but not to the point where you have to do more work. It should actually free us up time to do other tasks or just to relax and hang out with your family. I think I'm a bit worried we're going to lead into this world where AI is going to make us more efficient, but then people are going to be, well, that means you can do more stuff, right? So you can just do more stuff on top of the stuff you're already doing, because then you're twice as fast or 4 times as fast. You can do 4 more things. You can do 4 more things in the same amount of time. And that's the world I don't think we need to be in. I think we need to be in the world where AI is like helping us, but it's not replacing valuable time that we gain from using it. So I put that, yeah, it'll give us time back. Well, that's kind of what I'm really hoping it will do for us anyway. All right. Anyway, saw that? Yep, that was Demon Slayer. All right, as you grow past 10 million revenue, you can start adding a creative visionary, an operator, and an architect. Cool. Okay, good. I mean, that's a good breakdown. You don't have to have all these people. The economics. I'll scroll this slowly in case anybody wants to skim read that, but I'm not really interested in that part. I really wanted some. Oh, okay, I've run out of article. Another big, so that apparently saving 1.8 million annually. If you have a 30-person marketing org, do you have a 30-person marketing? I don't at the moment, but let's say you did, right? That's a big group of people, and at that point, I think you're probably paying too many marketers. You would save $1.8 million annually, which is quite amazing. And another big consideration point for currently bloated teams. I mean, this is a fair point. Like, he's talking to currently bloated teams rather than just lean, efficient teams. Like a lot of the startups and people I know and work with are on very efficient, lean teams. So, if your team's bloated, this is how they can make this transition easier. Transitioning from a 30-person team requires difficult workforce decisions. He's basically saying to lay people off. But there's natural progression pathways that exist. Junior marketers can become operators and they can look after the AI. Data analysts can become architects. And what were architects doing back up here? Seem to remember? Manages all the data and the attribution. The infrastructure in your MarTech stack, so they're managing all the data. Got it. That's probably a good role for them. And designers can become creatives. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean designers know heaps about marketing, but they can probably learn that stuff along the way anyway. So this isn't a theory. I'm building it now at Growth Pair. So if you're interested in Growth Pair, where's my side cursor? There it is. If you're interested in Growth Pair and knowing what John for Growth is doing, Jonathan Martinez, be sure to hit him up. I imagine he's probably got a LinkedIn, but you can check this page out on John for Growth on his Substack as well. And the companies implementing this structure now have an 18-month competitive advantage before it becomes table stakes. So He genuinely believes this is where we're going to end up. And I mean, a lot of companies probably will end up here. I mean, it's a bit of a race to the bottom at the moment for AI. This is an interesting take on it, actually, straight out saying where the employees could be replaced, because there's been a lot of talk about, will jobs get replaced? Is my job getting replaced? Whose job's getting replaced? So this is kind of, I guess, an interesting take on that. The question isn't whether your team will eventually look like this. Ooh, strong statement. But whether you'll lead the transition or be forced into it. I do like that he's gone straight into it there. He's basically suggesting that this AI-enabled marketing teams, which will look like this for anyone who's joining us, that has a lead growth person, an offshore marketer, a brand creative marketer, an operator, a creative marketer, an architect who looks after all the AIs, who looks after the data, and an operator who looks after all the AIs that are running, will be the 5 people you need to run a large marketing team. And your copywriting, your design, your analyzing, your strategy will be done by AI employees. Still hate that term. I'm never getting on board with the term AI employee, just so you know. I'll have AI and I will have AI support me, but I'm not having an AI employee. Not having. But I mean, this is interesting theory, because it's actually, if any of you out there are thinking, is AI actually gonna replace my job? Like, this is actually an interesting way to someone's actually made the call that might be coming, and it might be coming in the form of these roles. So if you are actually in one of these roles, the copywriter, designer, analyst, strategist, I mean, I would argue the strategy is often done by the head of growth, but let's say, you're doing these things. He's predicting these are the roles that are going to go, and he's basically saying that it's going to happen in the next 18 months. So what are we now? Can we timeline this? Oh man, I need to cough, dude. So what are we now? 18 months from now, John's predicting this is going to happen. So we are in July 25. So this would be by the end of 2026. That's probably a reasonable timeline. I mean, he's given it time for it to come through, go out. So yeah, okay. Copywriters, designers, analysts, and strategists. End of FY 2026, this article is saying that you might be the first to go, and we might be down to these 5-person lean marketing teams using AI. If anybody has anything they want to say about it, you pop that in the chat. We can have a discussion, but I don't know. I'm not completely convinced at this point. I really feel like we're at this point now where we're kind of waiting to see where AI goes next. Like, I actually feel like it's plateaued. Like, everyone's like talking, video and image and all that, but it's still the same. Like, we're still doing the prompts. We're still just trying to generate something out of it and hope that it's better than the last one you did. We've got, like, is it Veo or VO3 from Google, and it's amazing, and it's making interesting content online. And the video looks amazing, for instance, but I still don't want to watch it more than I want to watch someone else who's just genuinely making content online. And in some ways, I can't even tell you why that is. But I just think it's that human connection part that is always going to be missing. No matter how much we make AI into robots or humanoids, or and I'll be gone before we even get to half those points. But yeah, hopefully that makes sense to one of you as well. That there's this thing that you just can't get from AI, and that's not me being some sort of cynic, because I actually use AI every day. I find it very helpful as sort of a sidekick in the tasks that I'm doing. But there's still just something missing, even when you're watching like a video or an ad or something. There's just this human-y thing in there that's missing. I don't know, maybe it's like it has no soul. Maybe because it doesn't have a soul. It's just a big algebraic equation that's like pulling stuff out of predictions more than anything. So for anyone who thinks AI is magic, it's actually not magic. It's basically maths. But yeah, so it's very cool, but I'm just not convinced we're going to get to the future that a lot of people suggest that we might get to. So, all right. So if you have any opinions on that, be sure to let me know. Now, the other thing I said I was going to test out tonight, or this morning, or wherever you are in the world, sure, let me know where you are in the world. is doing some liquid, or at least show you where I'm going to be heading with liquid over the next few weeks, because I want to start teaching liquid to people from the beginning, for people who want to learn liquid but don't have access to it. And even doing this as a live resource, it gives people the chance to actually ask questions along the way that I should be able to answer, but we can uncover those problems as we go, one by one. So checking this out. So there's this document that it's put out by Shopify. So for those who don't know, Liquid is actually made by Shopify. They were the ones who started this language. So when we're using Liquid, for a lot of people, I know we're using it inside Braze, the marketing platform. It's actually a Shopify tool, and people sort of take the features they want and integrate it into their products. So it's in a lot of products. Let's see if I can actually find the list of what do we do? GitHub. No. GitHub Liquid. Probably should learn to type, really, shouldn't I? All right. So if we check this out, version history, website, Liquid, used by. Oh, we don't want to add. Oh no, I'm gonna get banned for selling a Zendesk logo. All right, so I don't know how much of this you can see, but even at the top here, I've got Shopify, Mailblast, Email Octopus, Mephisto, Harmon, Adobe Business Catalog, Zendesk. There's heaps of people in here. I'm not sponsored by any of these, by the way. Yeah, so basically by knowing this, and I mean, people at Microsoft are using it in certain tools. Someone's asking how Shopify benefits from making Liquid. Well, they actually incorporate Liquid into Shopify itself because they wanted a personalization tool. They don't get. I don't think they get a lot of benefit from other people using it, because I'm pretty confident it's open source. But part of this was that they wanted better personalization for their product, so they built Liquid in order to be able to do that. And so therefore it became a useful tool for them, and now other people are using it. Yeah, so it's just that age-old thing of like being able to solve your own problems when you've got a problem, and it's actually very powerful. Some people call it a code, but it's really what they call a templating language. So if you can see down here, just as an example, hopefully some of you get this. So it says if user, hello user.name. So if there is a user in there, print their name here. So it makes it very easy for them to personalize messaging inside Shopify or inside Braze or anywhere else. It's a really good question. Welcome to the chat, MY. So how I'm going to approach this is I actually have this thing that I've started building in the hope that because Zoom buddy because one thing that's really hard about learning some of these things, especially with say Braze in my case, is if you don't have access to Braze, then you often can't get into Braze to learn some of these things, or you might not have access to Shopify, so you can't get into Shopify to try some of these things. So I'm going to build this into a better interface over time, but I've started building an interface here where, for example, you could enter in here anything you want, and these become your custom attributes, which get pulled in over here. And then up here, you build a template, and this is where you would put all your Liquid in. I'm doing this in VS Code, but there's probably a better way for me to build this out, which I'll do in time. We can build this together, where we can actually start doing this stuff inside here, and you won't need access to Braze, you won't need access to Shopify. You'll just actually be able to doing Liquid in here. Like if I get rid of the word points in here straight away, because it's putting in here that they have 45 points, which is pulled from this attribute here that they have 45 points. But if I go in here and I just take that out, typing is not my friend today, and I refresh this, save this and refresh this. There you go. Updates in real time. So this is kind of my goal, is to build a tool like this so that you guys can all have access to Liquid. In the meantime, I think it'd be great to actually start going through some of the things that are in here from the beginning, and let's just crack on with this Liquid document from top to bottom. We'll work our way through operators, truthy and falsy. Truthy and falsy is super fun. Like, it sounds really weird when you're first doing it, but then you're like, oh, hold on, makes total sense now. We'll do variables, white space control, all sorts of things, iteration, and then it has all the filters in here. We can do capitalization, we can do maths, we can do we can map over things, we can join things together. some of this I don't think I'll actually know in any great detail as well, and I'm actually kind of excited to be doing it with you guys and go through it. So it's not going to hurt for any of us to it's not going to hurt for any of us to do this together. So today I thought, just to keep it simple, partly because my battery is not going well, and partly just to introduce this from the beginning, I thought we might go over just the introduction and work through that together. So just starting at the top. So it says Liquid uses a combination of objects, tags, and filters. So objects contain content that Liquid displays on a page. Objects and variables are displayed between curly braces. Now, curly braces is these double curly braces is really important in Liquid. When you have two curly braces, one on each end, you're essentially telling the Liquid that you would like to show something on a page. You would like it to appear. There's another one where it's a curly brace with a percentage sign, which is saying, I'd like you to figure something out. I'd like you to run something. But these curly braces basically mean you want it to show something on the page. So as an example of that, I can show you up here. So I've got up here email in curly braces. So I have email on either side. In my attributes over here, their email is this. So I'm saying I want to show between the curly braces whatever their email is. Now, if I go, can I get this on here? That'd be awesome. So at the moment it's running and it's saying Rodney the Legend example, which is in the template here. It's saying show their email, hello, first name, and email, and you have. Hello, Rodney, email, and you have. I'm just going to get rid of and you have, because it makes absolutely no grammatical sense. So if I go in here, and let's just assume you're inside your database, whatever you're using, it might be Braze, might be Shopify, and you need to update their email. And I can do test@capital.com. Hopefully that's no one's actual email, and I save that and update that now. You notice it updates here straight away, and this is what makes Liquid so powerful. You can have just one sentence and it could cycle through like hundreds of users in here and actually update their emails in real time, personalized to them. But the example I really want to show you here is because email is between these two curly braces, that's what it'll show on the screen. Whatever is listed as email, it will show that on the screen, and that's what an object is. The same goes for first name. I have it between two curly braces. I have this capitalized in here, don't worry about that, but it's the double curly braces. We have items down here between double curly braces, which will show all the items. Here it'll, between the curly braces, show the price, so it shows the price. So that's where objects come into it, and that's why those curly braces are so important. The next most important thing is tags. So tags create logic and control flow. So that's what I was trying to say before. These actually create logic inside. So they're not rendering anything to the page. They're actually creating logic and letting it do some thinking in the background. It's kind of like programming. A lot of the time this is to do with if statements here. So it might be making decisions. If the person is this, then do this. If not, do this. That's a really basic version of what they can do. The curly brace percentage delimiters. So it's just a percentage sum of the curly brace on either end. And the text that they surround do not produce any visible output. And the template when the template is rendered. So this lets you assign variables, create conditions or loops without showing any of the Liquid logic to the page. So here's the example I was talking about a minute ago. If the user, so saved in their database somewhere, user equals, and maybe their name is Adam. If user.name, and see this one's in double curly braces. So they want hello and they want to print their name because it's got the two curly braces. And then you'll have an end if to close this out. So this is saying if there is a user, then get their name and print it next to the word hello. Hello, Adam. So their name was Adam in the database, so they printed Adam next to that. There's different types of tags, control flow, iteration, template, and variable assignment, and we'll end up going through them in time as well. And then lastly, the other final one we'll go over just for today, just keep this nice and easy, is filters. And filters change the output of a Liquid object or variable. They're used with double curly braces. So you remember the double curly braces are to print something on the screen. And a variable assignment. So the variable assignment is essentially like saying, I want you to print this on the screen, but before you do that, I want you to do this to it. That's what they talk about a variable assignment. And it's separated by a pipe character, which you'll find on the top right of your keyboard. A lot of people don't know where this pipe character is because it isn't used very often. Their example here is fancy URL, and they're saying append, which append means to stick something to the end of it, append to the end of it, .html. So then the output becomes my fancy URL, and it sticks HTML on the end of it. Now, I'll show you an easier example over here in the actual in my actual code. So what I've got here is I've got first name, and if we go to my data, their first name is Rodney, but maybe we'll change that to Sarah, for example. If I save that and update that, you'll see I want to render out, see, her name becomes Sarah. But I've got capitalize on there because that way, if in the data for some reason I had lowercase for Sarah, like say someone misspelt her name when they entered in the database, if we save that now and render it, you'll see it still says Sarah because it has on there this variable assignment, this filter called capitalize. Now, if I remove capitalize and do that again, see, it's lowercase. It's literally what was written inside the database now. So that's where these filters can be really handy. Ooh. Oh, dude. I need to close this one. Put that back. And you see if I put capitalize back now, I'm saying I want you to print whatever first name is saved in the database, but I want you to put a capital on the start. And then I render that again. Oh, I didn't save this. That's why that didn't work. Render that again. Now, just for my own knowledge, I'd like to know, I think capitalize will actually lowercase and uppercase anything. So I've written their name as with capitals and letters all over the place. Yep, see? And it took the capital letters that were in here. It took the capital and kept it. It took the lowercase. It took the lowercase and made it uppercase. So if we just put a whole schmozzle of letters in here, now it still gets it right. It gets it right every time because it knows that you only want to capitalize the first letter of that. And that's where filters, these filters can be super handy. And there's so many cool filters. So that's something we're going to get into. That's all these ones down the side here where you can be doing maths. You can do downcase. Downcase and upcase would be another good example. Like you saw that we had that name in there a minute ago, and it was Sarah. We've got capital letters, lowercase letters in there. If I do downcase now, and I save that. So I'm saying again, it's in the curly braces, hello, print their first name and downcase it. It'll do the whole thing as downcase it. I think the other one is upcase from memory. And this time it looks at everything that's in there and it goes, I'm going to make it all capitals. And why this is so powerful is like, I can just have this one statement here and it can just be looping through hundreds of thousands of people if you want it in your database. And it doesn't matter, say you've messed up all the usernames in there, it can then go through and capitalize all them and print it. So I get sent a message that says, hey, David. Sarah gets a message that says, hey, Sarah. MY, you get a message that says, hey, MY. So, and whoever else is online, you get a message that says just your name to you. And this is what makes Liquid so cool and so powerful. So if you want to learn more about Liquid, if you're just beginning or you have questions about it, be sure to come along over the next few weeks because I'm just going to slowly work my way through this. Each week I'm probably planning to go through an article I've found on something to do with marketing and some Liquid, and we'll do both of those. I'll make sure to actually leave these live streams up as well, so if anybody wants to review them later, and if I get time, I'll actually chop out the Liquid and start turning it into its own course as well, so that people can just watch that on YouTube in their spare time. And if there's anything else you guys really want to see over the next few weeks while this is happening, please be sure to let me know in the chat, or message me anytime. You can find me wandering around on LinkedIn and other platforms as well, because I'd really like to make this stream as useful for the people who really want to see it. It's probably people who are working in marketing, maybe in some sales thing. You might be working with Braze, Salesforce, you might be working with Shopify, you might just like marketing. You might just like good conversations. If you want to talk about AI, I'll get on here and talk about AI anytime as well. I mean, we had that article today about AI-enabled marketing. So if that's you, be sure to tune in. I'm probably looking at Wednesday evenings. I'm in Australian time, so probably Wednesday evenings Australian time. But hey, we'll start getting a bit of a schedule in order as this moves forward. And yeah, if you've joined me tonight, wherever you are in the world, thank you. And I'm going to tap out now and I'll see you guys next week, and be sure to give me some feedback on how this went. Just hit me up in the comments after you've watched it. Appreciate your time.